The stunning beach coastline, South Australia. This is Glenelg, scene of the 4th stage of the Santos Tour Down Under, supported by Bupa. And before the riders had taken to the start line, some 6,500 fun cyclists had already ridden the route. Rollout time for the 131 riders in the event, and in the ochre jersey for the first day is Rohan Dennis.
Yes, he knows there's going to be a lot of challenges on a day that theoretically should be a day for the sprinters, but very early on going out on the attack, local boy Jack Bobridge getting out clear.
Jack Bobridge conceded his race lead on stage 3 of this event, but he wasn't going to take it lying down. He attacked twice, and when he went for the second time, he started to open a gap. Strong riders reacted from the main field, and he was quickly joined by the British champion in white, Peter Kenyuk, Michael Hepburn, a former champion of Australia, and Cedric Pino. The four of them worked well together. Eventually, they will gain over 2 minutes on the field.
Yes, but what they were looking at was Selleck's Hill on the horizon, because that's where the first Subaru King of the Mountains points were available, and Jack Bobridge was absolutely looking to try and get maximum points. And a kilometre to go, he was taking control of the reins of the race.
Selleck's Hill comes 100 kilometres away from the finishing line. Jack Bobridge knew if he could get first over the top as he was, he would get 10 points and regain his lead in the Subaru King of the Mountains competition. That's what he was after. After that, he decided to let the others go forward, and he fell back to the bunch to save his energy.
Probably a very sensible tactic, because he's still high up in the overall standings, and thereby getting those maximum points, he also made himself look pretty solid in the Subaru King of the Mountains, as one of the kangaroos jumping alongside the main field, enjoying its day out.
But as we continued on at 67 kilometres come, the breakaways were finally absorbed by a hard-working peloton. We were now racing into Ashbourne here, and Orica Greenedge were trying to deliver Daryl Impey to the line and get a 3-second time bonus in the II net sprint. It was a good tactic, and it worked.
An extra 3 seconds time bonus for Daryl Impey, moving him up a little bit more in the overall standings. That was obviously the tactic of Orica Greenedge, but two more riders decided they want to get away from the main field on the run-in down towards the finish, and they were given a certain amount of freedom.
50 kilometres to go, 3 more riders clear. Ruslan Bayev of the Kazakh team, Maxim Belkov on the attack again for Katusha, and Peter Seri of Etix were on the attack. By the time they got down to Macclesfield, 117 kilometres in, they weren't interested in the 3 seconds time bonus. They were trying to stay away and reach the finish.
Well, they were hovering at around about a 2-minute advantage as well, but once again the heat of the day started to take its toll on this man just sitting at the back, as the main field was stretched out into such a long line that they were nailing back everybody. But one man caught out in the crossfire, the great big sprinter Marcel Kittel, number 21. He would lose more than 13 minutes on the day.
So the sprinter who was supposed to win was coming in 13 minutes behind the race. The race itself was still travelling at around 50 kilometres an hour. The bunch itself was reforming as they saw the 3 leaders, Belkov, Bayev and Seri, brought back into the fold. At 1 kilometre to go, it was anybody's race, and they were racing towards the line at over 60 kilometres an hour when down went a French cyclist and took with them most of the rest of the race, while at the front, Uni-SA were at it again. A victory for Steele Von Hoff, his second of the year, leaving behind a load of riders in a tangled mess. The finish wasn't marred, though, for the Victorian cyclist, who saw Daryl Impey take second place and Impey move up into 4th place overall. Great shame about the crash, Paul. Those riders, though, all took advantage of the 3-kilometre rule. They were all given the same time as Von Hoff.
Yes, Steele Von Hoff getting a very well-earned victory, but no change at all in the overall standings.
Leaving a tangled mess of riders here, and some riders clearly injured, off to hospital as soon as they crossed the finishing line. And updates on that will no doubt be overnight. Well, a touch of wheels at those sort of speeds results in a massive pile-up, and the race leader was caught behind, so too Cadell Evans and Richie Port. Those riders, though, all given at the same time as the winner, many of them walking across the line. And it was a long walk home after a hard day in the saddle. No doubt about the winner, though, Steele Von Hoff. One more look at this. Just take a look at this. This was taken on a phone by a spectator who kindly gave us the pictures.
We always talk about UniSA being one of the smaller teams in the Santos Tour Down Under, but it's a small team with a big heart.
Well, I think we're batting well above our average here. 2 stage wins, the Oka jersey for 2 days now. It's just fantastic. We've got such a good team here and good staff as well. So.
And amazingly, 2 stage wins now for UniSA. They've also held the race lead for 2 days. Steele van Hoff, the national champion of the circuit race, has become the champion of the long distance World Tour stage race as well. But there was no change in the overall standings because of everybody being given the same time, although bonuses were counted. And Steele van Hoff, having lost time over the 3 days, wasn't affecting the situation at the top of the leaderboard. And this young man now, Rowan Dennis, faces up to the climb of the Wollonga Hill, wearing the very distinctive Oka jersey as leader of the Santos Tour Down Under. A young smile on a young pair of legs.